I'm good. I'm just
Ladies and
retweeting.
gentlemen, another episode of East
Damn.
meets West. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's the Pistons edition, and we just lost to the New York Knicks, and I do not like their fans and the things that they are going to do to us and say to us and whatnot. But at least I told them that Tobias Harris was the stabilizer. So put some respect on his name. We got another year of that coming from him. That grown man strength building up some more to defend Carl Anthony Towns harder. But I'm distraught right now. I'm hurt because the dude Brunson just hit a three the way he did. What man? Go in, man. Because I'm tore up right now. I'm happy we made it, but it's just like we can beat the Knicks, especially at full health. Full health. This is not a series. This is 4-1. But I'm just hurt right now. I'm toe up. So go ahead, man. Go in with anything. It don't matter. Observations, calling somebody
No,
out.
no. I mean, to start out with, I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm not in the mood right now to be handing out participation trophies. Right,
Nah,
that we could do that later on. We have a long off season ahead of us.
yeah,
Right. It's just like I'm glad that at least I think a lot of fans really respected the Pistons fight throughout this entire series.
yeah,
Right, it was not a
yeah.
short series. Almost pushed it, just 2 minutes away from pushing it to game 7.
Hmm.
um and the reason why I say that is because I know the lazy national media will probably spew a lot of cliches and platitudes
Yeah,
to wrap up the Pistons season. They'll say that they were too young. They're going to say that they're inexperienced. They're going to say that they lacked poise. The moment was too big for them. All of those things,
right.
right? And then of course you're going to have like haters, like, oh, same old Pistons,
Yeah,
right?
poverty
Like they're just
Pistons. Like,
losers, and or is this like a one hit wonder and everything? And I guess, like, I don't know. The reason why I say all that is because I mean, you can't, me. You can't have it both ways. If
right.
you're telling me that the Knicks are for real, then the Pistons are real, right?
Yeah,
You could win maybe like one game. You can keep one game close. If you're a fluke team that slid into the playoffs, but they didn't. They didn't.
right.
We
Yeah.
didn't.
And
And
according to what I seen in our 0-3 run, we only lost by 6 points. The games we lost is a total combined 6 points.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, make no mistake, I'm not saying that their like inexperience didn't play a factor, but I'm not going to let that define this team. I won't, at
Right.
least. Um and frankly, like I said, I mean, if you're the Knicks, then what does that say? Right? That a team that really had pretty much no of like the main players, right?
Right.
They had like close to little to no playoff experience, and they pushed you to the brink. I mean, hey, right? Like we always say, development isn't linear. And again, we'll get into it in another episode, probably talk about, things that we need to do. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You know me, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I feel that, yes, they were unable to execute down the stretch, and obviously it cost them the opportunity to extend this series, or if not win this series.
Right.
But I mean, frankly, I think, given their age and all that stuff, I mean, I think they learned on the fly pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah. It was
That's what I'm
still
saying.
learning. Now,
Yeah.
like I wish Beasley would have got that shot, bro. It would have went in. It would have went in. And
That's what I'm saying.
it's
Like,
just
they're
things
just,
like that. Like Cade, go ahead, because I got too much to say.
oh, no. No. It's just like I said. I mean, that final 2 minutes, I mean, yeah, maybe you could say, like, Sure, I will entertain the idea that there were playoff nerves. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. But I mean, you know, is it playoff nerves that Asar, got shaken out of his shoes? No. I mean, that's Jalen Brunson
He
making
got
a
hit
good
with the
game
Byron
winning.
Russell.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. Like Jalen Brunson, that,
Jordan with
that was an
the get
awesome
off me.
move.
Yeah.
That was an awesome. I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, like sometimes it can just be two teams playing at a high level, and obviously, like we know this, we knew this going in, right? Just because of like personnel and everything like that, and where we are development, like individually, the players
Yeah.
where they are developmental wise. Yeah, these kind of lulls happen, and it's just a matter of way of being able to control them, or to contain them. Likewise, those bursts, right,
I
of
got a
like
question.
consecutive stops and and like scoring out like bursts,
Yeah.
that happens too.
And I
I
got
mean,
a
that's just the
question.
nature.
I got a question specifically about that too.
Yeah.
If Ivy was here, you believe this series would have went different, correct?
So okay, I can answer that, but also I think that's a good way to segue into things that like what bit us in this game and throughout the series, right?
Threes.
Rim pressure, rim pressure.
Yeah.
And that is exactly where I think, yes, Ivy would have came up big, like big, On one hand, I give Cade credit. He played poise. I don't believe he was passive. He tried to take what the defense gave him. And when he does attack the cup, he tries to finish. He's not flopping like some other superstars.
Like Jalen Brunson.
There you go. I'm not saying it. You said it. Okay. No, but all I'm saying is, we talked about it, right? We need ways to try to stop or to mitigate those offensive lulls. And sometimes, right, again, just attacking the rim, attacking the cup, putting pressure on the rim, getting yourself to the free throw line. That's what we needed. And as great as Schroeder has been, actually, he really exceeded my expectations for what he would do for our team. I mean, he doesn't generate contact the way Ivy does.
Nah, we kind of see that in this series.
I give Duren a lot of credit. I mean, he went up strong.
That boy can shoot them free throws. Like
I know, dude.
Yo,
announcer's jinx, man. I knew it, man. I just had that feeling when he's like, "Oh, Duren is 8 from 8 from the free throw line." I'm like, "Fuck, man, he's gonna miss one, dude."
Right. But I'm looking like, wait a minute, we got a big that can shoot free throws, and that's why I tweeted out what I did. Like, go get him with Hakeem, because that's what that reminds me of. You know what I mean? Like a big that could just prominently shoot free throws, like, and he's just like, he don't give a damn. He just, whatever. Yep, yep. And so we can build on that. That's something that we can actually build on. Like his ability to shoot free throws. We need to get him more involved in the offense. And I've long said this. People call me crazy, but I'm like, we could treat Duren like Dwight Howard or Shaq, like where we feed him the ball first. And it was a long time when I said that, like probably a year and a half ago. Like in the midst of our losing streak, I would say maybe a year ago. So I feel like he's capable of that, and we just need to feed him the ball, to be honest, and let him go ahead and figure out where he can pick his spots at, and then go from there as well, instead of just making him a live thread cleanup guy, because he's more than that, and he's shown that since Ivy's went down. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh shit, Ivy went down. Yeah, we got Tobias, we have Malik, THJ in some games, but Duren stepped up since January, and he's been here. You know what I mean? Ever since, it seems like. So I think that we can build more on that. I don't know how they'll figure it out, because it's just like, okay, can do what he can do, Ivy can do what he can do, Duren can do what he can do, and then we have all our role players and like Ron Holland and everybody too as well. So it's maybe too much or not enough ball, I should say, to go around. For him, like if he had his own team, maybe he can showcase that type of thing. But with it not being his team, maybe we're losing something with that. But overall, it'll be spread out. Like, so I'm real big on Duran, especially after what he's done this series.
I mean, again, in hindsight, yeah, I'm with you. We probably could have fed him the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like about Jalen Duren is, in my opinion, he's like he and like I guess maybe Anthony Davis, like a healthy Anthony
Ooh.
Davis, like they are very explosive from a standstill position. They don't
Oh
need to
yeah.
get a running start. You can
Right.
give it to them, right? They could be having 2
Yeah.
feet, right? And they'll just rise up and explode
Yeah.
over
With somebody
defenders,
on him too.
right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously Towns fouled out of this game. I feel like he could have fouled out earlier. If they had just when we started making that run, and then
Yeah.
if nothing was there, what did they do? They literally just dumped it to Duren, right, inside the restricted area, and he just went
Hmm.
up and like jammed over dudes, you
Right.
know? And as you said, I mean, I know like bigs don't like to keep getting hacked, but I mean, I don't know, right? Like you're gonna
Hack a
keep getting that
Mitch.
mismatch. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Even Mitchell Robinson, like he's hacking Duren too. I know they're gonna hack a Mitch, right? But there you
Yeah.
go. I mean, like you don't have to be nervous about that. I mean, like, yeah, he started 8 from 8. Is he always gonna be like 8 from 8? I don't know. But he's a pretty good free throw shooter. He should
Yeah.
feel comfortable about getting hacked. And like I said, you do that, you get the team in the bonus earlier. I think that's the thing. With this game, especially like when each time the Knicks started to like make a run,
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, they're playing defense well. We know that. But again, we always say control what you can control.
Right.
And for us, like, we got down, like, started 8 points, then 8 became 11, then 11 became 12 or 13,
Yeah.
then 13 became
15.
15.
Yeah.
Like, one, what are we were texting each other during the game? Like, you're going, like, they keep trying to go, like they're swinging for like home runs, right?
Yeah.
There's no 15-point play,
Right.
just
Right.
gradually, right? Yeah, whittle that lead down, whittle it down. And what I didn't like, which they did far too often in this series, is when they get down like that. I understand its tendency. You want to try to get back into the game ASAP. But then they just start taking, like, I don't even
Like
remember
that
who's on the call
K3.
tonight.
I know the
Was it Kevin Harlan?
K3
Who
for
was on the call
sure.
tonight? Yeah, like,
Grant Hill, because he hit us with the, what did you say? Repeat that when the old boy said hack a Mitch. He said, say it again. Grant
oh,
Hill, and I
yeah.
forget who was
No,
alongside him.
but they kept pointing out, right, that like in the third quarter, I think we went 0 for, right, from 3. We didn't make a
Yeah.
single 3 in the third quarter. But I'm like, dude, look at the quality of threes that we're taking. Like, they're crap, right? They're either highly contested or we're like running 60 miles per hour and then like jacking something up. And I
Right.
understand, like, hey, right? Like, it's one thing though if you're hot, like a heat check, but no, there's just no rhythm. And that's what I'm saying. Like, late in that second quarter, and Schroeder and Beasley, again, even if you're like, I get it. The Knicks are defending well. Even if you're having a tough time actually breaking the paint, probe the defense, move
Yeah.
them, keep them
Yeah.
honest. Because now you're letting guys like Towns off the hook. You're letting
Right.
Campaign off the hook. Not that Campaign's a horrible defender, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're making it far too easy to let them key in on Cade.
Right.
So I'm glad that they made that adjustment. But again, right, like, you have to be able to continue to sustain it. Once because every time
Ivy.
then they start going away from it.
That's Ivy.
Yeah.
That's what Ivy is.
Or
'Cause
like
to
you said,
me,
you need that option.
yeah, like Ivy to me is a change of pace on the fly. You know what I mean? Like you give Ivy the ball after half court, it's a different type of speed. And that allows for Cade to be able to move around a little bit more as well, like just kind of be a decoy. And then when Cade has the ball, Ivy is a decoy because at any moment he can just dive from the corner or something like that. And all of a sudden it's pressure on the rim. That's pulling in some of the defenders. That's opening up the shooters. You know what I mean? Like, so not to come up with an excuse because there's no excuse. Like you got to next man up. And I just feel like Ivy's next season, yeah, get ready, league. Get ready.
Yeah.
For real.
And I mean, we knew this again going in. Well, no, not just going into this series, all season.
Yeah.
A lot of our role players are very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
In the sense that they're either very offensive oriented
Yeah.
or defense oriented. And I
Yeah.
think throughout this entire game, I saw a lot of discourse, on social media, people saying like, why is THJ playing so much?
Just
And
stretch
then
the
the funny
floor.
thing, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But then, right, you'll see those people like, oh, I don't want THJ, put Asar back in. But then you see just as many people saying, why is Asar in there, right? Which is
Yeah.
true. He cannot hit the broadside of a barn, okay? Like, and I'm being very
Next
generous. And
season.
you know me, you know us. I
Yeah.
will defend non-shooters like when you're that great defensively.
Right.
But, there were far too many times where a lot of those turnovers came from, being too tentative
Yeah.
on offense. Like, I don't care. I don't care, like, if you even make the layup, attempt it, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Drive the lane, attack the rim. Who cares if you get blocked? Whatever.
Right. That's
I'd
part of
rather
the
you
game.
do that than taking like a 19-foot fadeaway.
Thank you.
As a
You
Warrior fan, I've been seeing his
you still
brother.
think old school like I do. Like, why are you taking that trash ass shot? Like, especially in coverage. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
I mean,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think far too often throughout this series, like, well, first of all, going back to the original point,
Yeah.
there really is that fine push and pull, that JB, trying to find that right balance between lineups.
Yeah.
In no
Yes.
way am I trying to say Tim Hardaway Jr. is a defensive stalwart. In no way am I even trying to say that he's like he has to be on the court at any given time. But I don't know, man. Like, he was not food tonight on
Right.
defense.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, like I'm Big JB was right. When we need like closeout quarters on a stop, like a defensive sequence,
Yeah.
Asar, you're in. Shooter, you're in.
All day. All day.
However, THJ, at least for tonight, he did a good job. Like, he held up on defense,
Yeah.
which is why I could understand JB sticking with him. He's like, okay, who is the one more likely to pop off for a couple, like, 2 or 3 threes in a row? Well,
Right.
It's THJ, right? But I mean, all of that is to say that, again, it's probably more that we'll go in depth, for our off-season kind of reviews, our many
Man,
off-season reviews about the Pistons.
this team is better than the Knicks. If we made 2 more shots, if we got 2 out of 6 from THJ when somebody tweeted 0 for 6 or whatever, and I told him, oh, he gonna make a shot. We just need a few, and all we needed was a few. You know what I mean? And we put ourselves in position to win this game. If we got more from like 2 shots more from K, 2 shots more from THJ, this is a dub. It's that simple. You know what I mean? So maybe it was the playoff jitters and maybe some chemistry. Like, maybe you need a little bit more continuity than just coming together for this year. And if I hope that Trajan keeps this team together. Don't go for a big trade unless it's for something minimal with some picks, and let the continuity build, because that's how you let a team really like take off. They learn each other's like tendencies and whatnot, and everything falls into line after that. And I don't know if we'll get another Malik Beasley over 203 season, but I mean, why not? And then we might get a more stable THJ if he's still here. So, especially with Ivy on the floor, because he's going to pull the defender. So, I don't know. I have high hopes for this team. Like, it's looking good. The future is bright for sure. But I really wanted us to get this game for Detroit. I wanted us to get this game because we haven't won in the city like since 2008. That's what I really wanted this for. I was like, whatever with the series. I wanted today's game just for Detroit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hey, shout out to Detroit. Yep, we showed up. We was, man, that's stadium packed out like the Palace was. Like, we had years of just perfect attendance, and just to see that type of attendance in LCA, knowing that I've gone and it's just empty here, empty right there, empty there. You know what I mean? And to see how packed it was, and man, I should have been in attendance, but I would have been disappointed buying a ticket and losing
Yeah.
and losing and losing. I would
mean,
have been pissed off. Like,
TNT
Giannis was beating our ass again.
You could tell TNT had to actually turn down the crowd mic because it was so loud that you couldn't hear like Grant Hill
talking.
and like the in-game broadcast. So that was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am pretty disappointed. I really thought they were going to win this one. I didn't think they'd lose all three.
Right.
Yeah, three at the LCA. But hey, I mean, again,
Next year.
um, they played well,
Next year.
but that final 2 minutes, though, again, as optimistic and as glass half full,
As you are.
mindset that I am, that final 2 minutes was a complete shit show. We got to
Yeah.
call it like it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a 7-point lead, and pretty much everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Yeah.
And that is not even just with regards to like our young and or drafted players. I mean, Schroeder, okay, you get run off the 3-point line.
Oh,
He
my
knew it.
bad.
He knew it. He had the
We
floater.
getting comments. My bad, Gloria and Cuban. Gloria, do you see the comments?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she
But I
said
mean,
I saw a
like,
broker.
yeah, we'll get to Sar in a second. But no, I mean, that Schroeder, for as great as he's played, pretty much
Cuban cigar lady.
since well, I don't know, since he joined the team, but definitely in this series, like that, again, that kind of tentativeness, that second guessing, that ate him up. And then to still get the ball, okay, well, no, yeah, that was all bad. That was all
Right.
bad. Tobias, again, like, I'm not saying take the first open look you see, but I mean, there's just way too much like passing to nowhere.
Yeah.
And again, Cade, especially in the final 2 minutes, you cannot dribble into the coffin corners. You cannot do that. And that's it. Yeah, he just
I
keeps
actually
getting pinned.
disagree with you with he wasn't too passive. I felt like
No, I didn't say he's passive. I don't think he was. No.
you said you don't think he wasn't aggressive enough.
No, earlier I said I'm sure a lot of people will say he's passive. I don't
Oh
necessarily agree
yeah.
with that.
I wanted him to be more aggressive. Like I felt like there were
Yeah.
times in the game where he could have just pushed the point. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like just and they actually it opened up for him. You know what I mean? Like at least 2 or 3 times, maybe not as much, but it's times that he could have
Yeah.
pushed the point and made it where everything could have went, from him still being keyed in on. Like it's a few times. Probably like one
Yeah.
key moment for sure. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna be mad at him. Like I love the Pistons, but we are a young team, and we've watched young teams have to. We watch OKC. You know what I mean? We watched Memphis. We've watched. Who else is a young team? Well, Charlotte don't count because they ain't came up yet. We watch Orlando, and it's you have to have these moments in order to grow up. You know what I mean? So this was a grow up series for us. At least we did get some wins. We did win on the road. So it lets people know like we're not afraid of the road. We can go to your house and stomp around. You know what I mean? And make you feel like you're not even at home. We not at home. Guess what? You're not at home either. And I mean, it's been like this for about 3 years now. Anyway, like we've been shocking teams during the regular season, so preferably, but for us to step in the playoffs and then do that on that stage, like with New York, and you know how big New York is. They fans is crazy as hell. The damn dude on ESPN he's from there, and that's rah rah rah. So the Pistons got a lot of notoriety. We got a lot of attention, a lot of spotlight from this. So I love what we got, and I love where we will be next season because we will be there. We will. The Knicks better go grab somebody like Isaiah Hartenstein or just dream about it because next season is not going to be that. Barring health, let me knock on that wood.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, from both this game and this series, and if you look at all across, like the other series, like if you're Cade, I would encourage him, like, I don't want to say, because again, what I was saying earlier is I think a lot of the national media they'll criticize his play. They'll say like there are moments of passivity. I don't necessarily agree. I think he's a very cerebral player. Doesn't overthink, But again, he's not trying to force the issue.
Force it, yeah.
Okay, here's the thing, right? I don't want to be hypocritical, but
But
the players that you love, say like Westbrook, right? Think about prime Westbrook, Harden, right? Steph, KD. When your back's against the wall, you got to unload the clip.
Right. The whole clip.
This is why I'm saying, like, I don't give a flying F, right? If your shot gets blocked, I don't care if you airball. I'm not saying, like, just be, like, so reckless out there. But, I mean, like, not force the issue, but put pressure on the defense, right? Because that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I get what he's trying to do, but, I mean, the second the ball gets out of his hands, you've done the defense is one. Like, you've done the defense a favor, right?
Right.
Same thing, right? Like, I get what they tried to drop, like, on those final plays, not just the final play, but leading up to that. But again, you're taking the ball out of his hands,
Right.
No, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at Brunson. I mean, Brunson had a pretty good shooting night tonight, but even in the series, he had some pretty,
40 points.
Yeah, right. But I mean, like, even earlier in the series, he finished with 28 points on 25 shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, just let it fly. Like, you're the guy. All the more reason, even if Ivy were here, I would still encourage Cade to do that.
Take the lead.
They know that you are the man, right?
Right.
Do it.
Right.
Do it. And again, that's not to say he didn't play well this series. It's just like moving forward again. And that's part of the maturation of him.
He was thinking too much. Like you said, he was overthinking. Maybe slightly.
Too. Because again, I'm not mad at Dennis or Tobias. It's just, again, they needed to be a little bit more assertive, a little bit more decisive in those, definitely the final 2 minutes, but even the final 3 minutes, But that's the thing, you really can't expect. I'm sorry, you don't really want Beasley or THJ making the decisions with the ball in their hands,
right?
Even though they're veterans,
unless
you can't really expect Asar or Duren to. You shouldn't expect them to, right? God bless B-ball Paul's heart, but no. What I'm saying is that's where it falls on Cade. You cannot let these moments of tentativeness happen. You just got to go and run with it, and they'll follow. You know what I'm saying? I think that's totally fair.
I agree. And I feel like if he developed that ability to facilitate on the floor just a little bit, to the tune of 4 or 5 assists a game, we look like a different team. Especially if he's developed his game offensively that much more. He's still sturdy on defense, a little bit better. We're somewhere else. You know what I mean? Imagine him being like a hub, like a Draymond. Light.
Dude,
not junior, but light, like a Draymond
make
light.
his threes today, he would have had 6-7 assists today. Duren, he would have seriously, man.
Yeah, actually, and that's what I mean.
That was one of the things that, again, even though I've been both of us, but I don't know if maybe me more so. I think we've been fairly critical of him.
Of Duren early.
Of Jalen Duren.
In 2024.
This series, again, that's what I'm saying, right? If you look at what could have been potential assists, he was fantastic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was making really great reads. And even in this game, right?
Yeah, he did.
Like I said, right? Even if it's the DHOs, right? He knew the right angle to set the pick, and then where to cut, where to stop
hand
the
off
cut,
the ball too,
right? To then get the pass and swing it, right?
Yeah,
to the opposite corner or the opposite wing. I mean, or he understood when to just fake the DHO and just go,
right?
And
he's done that a few times this season too.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm with you. I think he does have that potential. And I think as the roster around him improves, right, he'll further continue to improve, right? It'll only I don't want to say expedite, but it'll definitely, reinforce the skills he's already been developing. Like he's shown it. He showed it today, literally. You know, I
Right.
think he had a really good game. But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know how much like other fans will like think about, you know, of course, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Obviously, game 4, I think that was taken out of our hands.
Yeah.
I think the refs basically gave a win to the
Yeah.
Knicks. That
Oh yeah.
completely changed everything.
He was on his shoulder.
No, was that game 4? No. Yeah, it was game 4. It
3
was game
to
4.
4.
It was
Yeah,
game 4.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Now
then we
game
came back online.
3, I am very upset with. We didn't get on to record after that one because
Yeah.
twofold. One, okay, actually, this again, the maturation of all our young guys. That was horrible, Jalen Duren, in like the
Yeah.
final 4 minutes of game
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Everything he could have done wrong, he did it.
He did wrong, right?
You know, and I don't understand. Like to this day, like nobody's given me a good answer because you know me. Like even if like I don't agree
Mm.
with what a coach decides, I like to try to understand their rationale. You know,
Yeah.
you grow as a basketball mind when you try to, even if you don't agree. So let me get this straight, right? You've somehow found the way to be down 2, and granted, there's only like about what 0.5 seconds left on the clock,
Yeah.
right? But what were they really trying to do, right? Because
Mm.
if you're going for a 3, you have to get the ball in. Like, why is Duren the inbounder? That made
Right.
no sense to me, right? I'd rather he be out there, even if he's a decoy, right? You're only
Yeah.
down 2. Make him like the decoy lob threat,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Because
Coming
then,
off
like,
the
if you're
perimeter or
telling
something
me
like
like the
that,
whole
just inside.
idea was just to like toss it to whomever's on the perimeter to heave it up, why did he have to be in there? Like, you need to at least guarantee. That's what I'm saying, right? This is where JB. It's one of those things where JB, because you know,
Gotta
like
improve.
he has that like that reputation, like, oh, he's a great coach. He's great at developing
Yeah.
young guys, but he can't get you to the mountaintop. Yeah, and I don't like that, right?
I
Like,
don't
and
either.
hey, right? I mean, cross sports, they used to say that about Andy Reid, right?
Right.
I'm trying to think
Right.
of a basketball coach like that, but I'm saying like the
Yeah. I
equivalent.
mean, nobody right now. It
Yeah, who do
probably
they say that
would
about?
be him.
Because there are
You know
guys
what I
like,
mean?
you know, like right now, he's like trending in like the D'Antoni kind of coaching,
Oh
right? Like you're
damn.
so good and you can get so far, but
It's so far, but you don't get
can't
to the
win it all.
mountaintop.
Yeah, you know, so
Don't say that.
and I don't.
say that.
I hope because obviously I love JB Bickerstaff, and I
Yeah.
think he's a fantastic. That's what I'm saying. Like he's such a great basketball mind. Like what the
But I
hell were you
mean,
guys
is that
thinking about?
on our players too for not
Well, that's what I'm saying.
being
To
in this
me,
experience, and then for him trying to educate them on exactly what he wants them to do, why we would have a Duran inbounding, because that would just have the floor scattered if we don't got Duran. Nobody's expecting Duran to shoot. You know what I mean? Like, what if he's thinking that way? And it's just like, oh damn, yeah, I messed up. Next time I got to make sure I execute that better, or have such and such inbound the ball, whatnot, or just take Duran out altogether, like we did tonight, like with the basically a 5-out lineup to try to put that shot up, but
Tobias at the 5,
K
baby.
threw it, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm like, what? I was looking at this like, huh? We got a whole
You looked
line
at
of
it, right? You
shooters
had to
out
look
here?
again. Like, wait, who's the center? Yep. That's right.
Yeah, because I'm looking like, okay, who? Okay, and maybe
said-
maybe he learned something from that game
I'm
before,
sure he did.
and today was another.
Well,
It was another attempt. You know what I mean? So
don't
it's
have
just like,
Duran inbound the ball with the game on the line. Yeah,
no,
it's a good
hell
learning
no,
lesson. Man.
no, for what?
No, seriously, what the hell did he think the play? Like, what was JB's play? But anyway, all right, that's in the back. We can
he
watch
was
that.
thinking of Cleveland or something. I don't know. Maybe Evan Mobley can make that pass or something. I don't know. So he's like, let me try this with them. Let me try it.
Because that's basically two. It sucks. That's 2 games.
Yeah.
Where you didn't get a final shot up.
Right.
Like, like game losing or whatever, right? The game ended with the ball sailing out of bounds. Like that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And that's why
that's why it hurts.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, the playoffs, it's like a chess match.
It is.
I
Yeah,
think we were right. You know, we did say in our series preview pod that we felt that at some point they may just have to go to a Sauron cat immediately,
yeah,
right? Because you want to take away the high pick and pop. They did. Look what happened tonight. Freaking gone.
hmm
You know,
yeah,
he was useless. You know,
yeah.
um, but so then you'd wonder yourself, well, if you had gone to that even earlier, would we have been able to, you know,
Oh, let me give
yeah,
Jalen Brunson a hand clap. Let me
yeah, no,
make
he
sure
was good.
he
He was good.
he did way less flop in this game. I don't know if he's seen some of the tweets and some of the stuff being said about him, but way less flopping. Just go straight up. You got it. That's
Well,
why,
he
like I,
heard.
I tweeted out something like Iverson would be disappointed because he would. Iverson used to just go. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't worried about you clotheslining him. He was still gonna put the shot up. You to clothesline a mid clothesline, it's a layup. You know what I mean? So I'm that was cool. That was cool to see him. Like I'm not gonna think of the closeout game as Jalen Brunson was flopping all over the place. Like so, I give him some respect for that
I
for
mean,
sure.
that one sequence where the shot clock was winding down, he gets pinned underneath the basket, and
Yeah,
two things really stood out to me on that play. One, I am like, I was amazed that Schroeder did not foul him.
yeah,
Right when we were
me
still
too.
up, like what one? We were up two, right? 112, 110, or something like that. Whatever it was, or 113,
Yeah,
111, or whatever it was,
you talking about the before he
or one.
fell?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Like he's about to lose his balance, and then he somehow puts a reverse layup in,
yeah,
like under. Right, like one, he really did not travel. You
no,
when I watch right when you see like the slow motion replay, and two,
yeah,
Schroeder really did not foul him. I'm like
no,
amazed on both things. Like both things
yeah.
happened. I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna shoot free throws.
Keep
And I'm
this
like,
up,
wait a minute,
NBA. Keep this up.
but yeah, no, he earned it. Mikal Bridges too.
Yeah,
I've been pretty critical and pretty hard on him. You know,
yeah.
um, it just it
He
again. There's like
sacrificed some of his game, and that's what we need in our team too. Like, because we had a potential in multiple players, but they got to be willing to sacrifice, and we'll win. And I ain't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. No,
Yeah,
I'm just looking at the stats and everything like that. No, yeah, like we said before, right? Like try to at the very least, if you're going to simplify this game plan, try to make anyone except Brunson, right? Create. Ideally,
right,
make them create off the dribble, and he did. It
right.
looks ugly. Looks fucking ugly. You know. You know. Like he reminds me of like when you have like youth basketball and like they
Yeah,
graduate to like the adult size ball, but they're still like little kids. It's
yeah.
like what his dribble reminds me of. Like it, I don't understand how he doesn't lose his handle, but whatever,
Right,
But whatever, you won, right? So I mean, hey, you can look as dumb as you want to. You were a winner. So
right.
um
Said the kids graduate to the adult bar. I remember that. That's crazy.
yeah.
That's funny.
I've been watching a lot of basketball lately at all levels, so the
Yeah,
analogy has become kind of crazy sometimes with me.
yeah.
I compared Haley Van Lith to a Prius the other day,
Oh
and
my, what?
yeah,
Yeah, we're
it'll
gonna have to
make
talk
sense. We'll
about
talk
that.
about a WNBA
Yes,
pod
on
later,
the
but it made sense.
WNBA
It made
pod, we
sense.
got to talk
Trust me.
about that.
No, but I mean, it was obviously
It was a good
it's
series. It
it
was a
was a
good
good series. It
series.
was a great series.
Yeah,
It was
I
great. I would have
love. I
obviously we would have loved to gone to Game 7 because I mean Game
mhm.
7 shit.
It's up
Then
in the
both, in
air.
my opinion, both teams get tight.
Yeah, yeah, and then it's up in the air. Like that's a game where we could have went on and just started trying to shoot them out the game, like devastate them. And then if you're making those shots and Cade is hot, like man, it would have been over. But I'm proud of this team. Um, I mean I predicted that we would win over 40 games, all the way up to what did I do? 50? Was it 50?
Yeah, well, right.
It was
I think
crazy.
I was like
I
42.
predicted
You
up to
were
50
50.
games. Yeah, see, you were 42, I was 50. So median
Yeah.
46 is 7, but 44 wins coming off 14. Um, not having a 28 game losing streak. We were actually ready to make the jump last year to 30 wins. We were. We needed the right coach. And to see it now and to know what next season is going to be, because we're 48-50 next year easily, as long as they don't try to blow this up and do what the fans want them to do. Oh, go get Devin Booker or Kevin Durant. Or no, I'm not blowing up this core. I'm not, because we are next. Some of those players, when Kevin Durant leaves Devin Booker, then what? You know what I mean? Like, when who else they want? That might be it, really. Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. And it's like, you take Devin Booker away from Kevin Durant. What is Kevin Durant getting back from us that's gonna
All
help
right.
him? Ivy? And I'm not trading Ivy,
I'm not
because
going to do the trade machine right
he's our
now.
change of pace. Like,
I'm not
I'm
going to
just
do the
letting them
trade
know.
machine. I'm not going to do the trade machine right now.
I'm
But
not
I'm
gonna do it at
curious.
all.
Let me curious. I'm curious. No. We will in our
Uh-oh.
off-season pod.
Uh-oh.
But what if, again, just what if, like, it doesn't involve Cade? It doesn't, right? No, so no trade will involve Cade. Let's put it that way, right? No trade involves Cade.
And who else?
What if they were trading for Giannis?
Giannis?
I'm gonna get you to say yes to one of these. See, that's why
I'm already yes.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying.
Why would I not?
Like, the thing about it is, I'm with you. But the thing is, when you say don't break up the core, that's where, again, in our off-season pod, you really need to identify who the core is. Because, for example, like, I do agree with fans. Like, THJ, it's a great story. You could definitely upgrade over him. Paul Reed, it's a fun story. You could upgrade over him. You know, I think, like, was it your tweet or Pistons lead tweet? Oh, well, yeah, it's both you, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I can't remember which account. But, like, no, I would not have played Sasser in this series.
Oh, yeah, I tweeted that. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do like Schroeder. We still need better guard depth. We really do.
Somebody,
Beasley,
Marcus Smart.
You see, there you go. Those are the types of acquisitions I'm for. I'm with you. I don't think necessarily gutting the roster, of our good young players and draft picks for, like you said, Durant or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's a Giannis, let's be real, right? Like, I
All
think
day.
he's 30, so you still believe he's got the time to be a game changer.
5
and
more
then I'm
years.
with you. Go another
least.
another tier or two down. I'm with you. Go after the Marcus Smarts. Go after, like, shit. If the price is right, Chris Middleton. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked.
If the price is
you
right.
do actually. They're both in Washington. You can get both.
If the price is right. If the price is right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. I'm with
All
you.
day.
I think of what you did with Tobias, but do better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Right. Again.
And Tobias was
right?
good for us.
And he was good. Good. I'm not even saying get rid of Tobias. I'm saying
fans, anybody
Yeah.
that's listening, watching. I didn't want Tobias to come back, but then a little bit of me after hearing his wife from here and all that, like, he got him a Detroit chick. All right, cool. And then he started showing up. No, I mean, if your girl from here, then you almost kind of can't fight that. Who knows? There might be something going on with the family that's important and needed to be close as well. But so I'm just like, all right, cool. We got Tobias, but Tobias showed up. You know what I mean? Like, Tobias really was steady for us, more steady than I've seen him. Probably, I want to say maybe the Clippers was a little bit of steadiness for him, but everywhere else he was like, yeah, I'm gonna drop 22 today, and then I'm gonna drop 8 tomorrow. Like, what you gonna do? You got to deal with it. But here he had a down time, and I want to say that was between January and like February, but overall he's been steady, and that might have just been downtime. Like, it's the dog days of the NBA. You a veteran, you got to get your second win, or you just know it's the dog days, so that's how you plan in it. Hey, in the playoffs for sure. Like, I went in that Knicks spaces, and I told them that he was a stabilizer, and they clown me. And then right after they clown me, they got a game in which Tobias was the stabilizer. Like, oh, the stabilizer. So, I gave them a little something to hold on to. They're gonna remember. And I just hope he has. I think he got one more year of that at least in him. Like it's going to be another step forward. Because how old is Tobias? Like 33 or something like that.
He's
You know what I
33,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
33,
So
34. Yeah.
I anticipate one more year at least at this level, and probably a little bit better. You know what I mean? As far
Yeah.
as just making those corner threes, from Cade and whoever's passing it to him over there, being more clutch. But he was showing up like every time we needed a bucket, Tobias would get it. You know what I mean? Like when we really needed a bucket, Tobias is the one that was getting it. So uh let me throw my hat in there and just say, my bad, Tobias. You was killing this year, and I'm glad you're here.
I mean, he in let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He digging.
He
He
played
digging.
he played 40 minutes, 40 or more minutes in 4 out of 6 games, right?
Hmm.
The only one he didn't play, like he played less than 35, was game 3, right?
Okay.
Because it got away, and then kind of like some of the second unit guys fought their way back in at the end.
Right.
But I mean, he basically he scored double digits in 5 out of 6 games. 25 points, 15 points, 18 points, 17 points, 14 tonight.
And them boards was
Just kind of
key.
looking at here,
7, 8 boards.
he averaged about what, 13, 14 field goal attempts per game. Yeah, no, he was a monster on the boards.
Yeah.
6 boards, 13, 6, 8, 8, 5. He was, as you predicted, he was a stabilizer. I would have hoped, though, especially like tonight. It's not necessarily a criticism. It's just I'm saying, like, yeah, you're right. He's not Clippers Tobias anymore, but I
Yeah.
think he still has a little bit more juice left in him. I
Yeah,
think he
no,
could
he
have like
does.
probably taken like 2 more shots per game,
Yeah.
especially tonight. Again, right? He's getting himself on the block. He's trying to clear space, find guys. If not, he'll go to like his little flash post. I dig it. I
Yeah.
respect it. I'm just saying, right? Like, dude,
Go all out.
what do we say, right? KYP, know your personnel. Sometimes know your own personnel, know your teammates, right? Dude,
Mhm.
like THJ, I mean, you're not going to tell a shooter to stop shooting, but at the same time, like, dude, if he's not open, if THJ is trying to he's like trying to relocate, running back and
Yeah.
forth. If it's
Yeah.
not there, don't force it. Don't force it. I wish he wouldn't have done that. Again, he was trying to be a little too patient,
Yeah.
or trying to find a SAR like backdoor, like. If it's not there, it's not there. That's what I'm saying. I wish he would have been a little bit more to, again, what we were saying, right? Try to kind of stop those little scoring droughts, those team scoring droughts.
Yeah. Which
But
reminds
overall,
me of the old Pistons, to be honest. Like even the '04 Pistons. We had scoring droughts. You know what I mean? And that's where we used to be like, oh, we should have drafted Carmelo. And we had him. But our defense made up for it. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, overall, I agree though. Like Tobias was, especially after they make all of the switches, running everybody into the screens, and he gets a matchup smaller than him. You know what I mean? Get like Cat off of him or get OG off of him, because he would get Brunson a lot. You know what I mean? And go ahead and do your thing. Like just do it. Don't even hesitate.
yeah. And I
Don't
gotta
look
say
outside of
too,
it.
we knew that, like, what is it? So basically, what Asar missed, what, the first quarter of the season, first third of the season, regular season, whatever
Like
it
the
was,
first quarter, yeah.
first quarter. We
Yeah.
knew that like we'd become a significantly better team once Asar came back. And we did.
Yeah.
But I got to give credit. Remember, like, what did we started the season 0-4, and it was like god awful. Like, we were like an eyesore. Like how far this team has come this year, like especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. I'm not trying to convince anyone that THJ and Malik Beasley are plus defenders. No,
Nah.
but they legitimately played like
They
heavy
played defense.
minutes and did not, right. They were not leaking oil. Just like tonight, like, I mean, like, and this is before, like, it was clear that we were going to lose, like, just watching throughout the game, like the ups and downs of it, like, like their screen navigation is completely different. Like Beasley is, remember, like, the very beginning of the season, like he'd be like, like he'd always die on every screen. Remember THJ was always caught in no man's land, and look at him tonight, perfectly switched. Like I said, right, stood up Bridges, stood up Brunson. That was what like helped us get back in the game. All I'm trying to say is like, man, again, development's not linear, but I mean, if they can come together like that, if they can learn, whether you're the young guys or even the veterans, like even the
Right.
veterans, to me, that's more impressive, right? Like
Right.
sometimes as veterans, you're kind of stuck in your ways, or you already have like these bad habits like ingrained in you. That's a kudos to the players. It's kudos to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you, right? Another off season, healthy off season.
Right.
Like, dude, we could take this to another level.
Yeah. And
Well,
Ivy was ready for
yeah,
another 2 weeks. He probably would have been ready, but we didn't make it there. But we got next season in it.
yeah.
It may be
So
best for him instead of trying to rush back, try to jump into the playoffs in a second round, like game 5 or something like that. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
shake up the chemistry. Like, nah, let's just go ahead. We showed what we are now. You know what I mean? And the league needs to be on notice. They will be, but they won't be ready for Ivy. Next year is Ivy's year for sure.
I mean, I'm me. I'm hoping for a big Asar
And
uh,
Asar and
lead.
Ron. It's Cade is gonna be Cade. He's gonna do 20 whatever. He's gonna put up his assists and rebounds, but just seeing how he controls his own pace, he controls the pace of the game, the flow of it, and then having Ivy out there with him, and then Asar, we got Fred Vincent, and I've seen the numbers of what he's done with the Pelicans shooters that weren't shooters from one season to the next, especially after having an off season with him. So yeah, next man, 50 games next year. 48 to 50 games next year. I'm already making a declaration now. We're winning 48 to 50 games next year. I already this year said over 40. I went crazy and said up to 50 potentially. And I just knew what this team was capable of. I'm not going to hold it. Like people that's watching, whatever. Yeah, I said it. Go listen to the podcast from like October or whatever. But I said that. I said the Pistons were going to win
It
over 40
doesn't
games.
seem that crazy
It,
now.
it doesn't
I
now.
mean, like,
We were capable last season of like a flat ass 40, like maybe
you know,
37, 35 or something like that, because we didn't have the depth we have now. We don't have Malik Beasley. We don't have Tobias, Dennis Schroeder, and them wanting to be here and or buying into the culture. You know what I mean? So we got Tobias, his woman is from here. We got Malik Beasley, his mom is from here. I mean, like that matters to them. That's Ivy, his mom is
yeah,
she played for the shot. Grandfather, Duran wanted to be here. Dennis, when he came here, he like, man, they like brothers in here. Like, what is this locker room? So when you have players that are bought in and that want to be in Detroit, and you got Malik Beasley going to the office like, don't trade me, I want to be in Detroit, then we have a good product right now. We don't need to go away from that for nobody. Not
yeah.
unless it's Giannis, like you said. If it's Giannis, then damn, what y'all want? I'm gonna just put my head in my hand like, what do y'all want? That's not Cade. And
I mean, we'll talk about it, man. Where there's
Giannis,
smoke, there's
but
fire, dude.
but
This has been since the deadline,
if
you
it's not
know.
Giannis, I'm not coming off this core because we have
But
continuity. We have the heartbreak that we've gone through over the last 3 years. We have what we just went through now, with the series against the Knicks. I don't want to remove just everything that's all wired together and unwire it and try to bring something else and then they gotta power that up as opposed to just being one full unit. You know what I mean? So because we look like a unit out there. We didn't have Stewart, we didn't have Ivy. And
oh, your mic. Yeah, I will just say that unmute yourself. The it's gonna
saying
sound
out
kind
here.
of weird. Yeah, it's gonna sound kind of weird what I'm about to say, given that like Asar, the final image you have of him this season is him touching Earth, you know, uh, and Brunson hitting a game winner over him.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I know it's like okay, right? Like everybody likes to throw out their hot takes, and when you're
Mhm.
right, you victory lap it, like we're
Mhm.
doing right now with our
Yeah.
our record
Our
predictions.
records. Yeah.
And when we're wrong, yeah, you just kind of like laugh it off, and you kind of gloss over it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. This is very early, very premature. This is still raw, but I'm not gonna let one defensive sequence define what I believe, or to frame
Uh-oh.
what I
He
believe
being a
is
scout,
Asar's
y'all.
trajectory.
He being a scout.
Yeah, no, I believe Asar will finish top 3 in defensive player of the year voting next
Okay,
year.
top 3. Okay.
Assuming, right, he plays a 65 minimum, which basically it'll be his first healthy season,
Yeah.
like fully healthy season. If he does, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
The spotlight was on him. TNT,
Well,
Max, ESPN, showing the Detroit Pistons and showing Osar doing his thing. Yeah. Yeah. He'll be discussed as well. He will be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Any more
think
thoughts?
what's up?
Any more thoughts?
I mean, like I said, like we tweeted on the EMW Twitter account, like it was. There's nowhere else. There's no other way than to say this is extremely successful season.
Yeah.
But again, right? Like as you know, new developments unfold, you're allowed to reframe your expectations. So, like, yes, we can look at it as like we fought well, we fought valiantly. This was a good learning experience. We could also, I think it's also fair to say, like, man, like we completely botched certain things,
Yeah.
and we basically sent ourselves home. To me, and I don't know what makes you like whatever for fans. I don't know what makes each fan feel better.
Yeah.
Like, but to me, I don't know. Like, it's no matter what, it's frustrating
Yeah.
because our season's done.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I feel like there are more things that we could have controlled and we just didn't. You know what I'm saying? Or like we failed to execute.
Right.
Right. But like, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is we'll learn from this.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
But we are basically like, we are the authors of our own story, is what I'm saying,
Right.
right? Like we're
Yeah.
not necessarily like the side character for the Knicks. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, right?
We
Like,
were fighting to be the
yeah.
boss, not the
It's
damn
not
side
like
character.
I don't really believe they controlled this entire series.
They
That's
didn't.
what I'm trying to say, right? Now, how do we advanced? I don't know, right? It's a different story against Boston.
Right.
But, in terms of like those old, like, NBA platitudes, like, the mindset of playoff teams. Like, are you a team that's just happy to be there? Or are you a team that's actually trying to do something? And I think we're like at least one tier ahead of that, right? Like we actually came in trying to accomplish something.
Mm.
And, it's debatable, like, how successful we're in doing that. But I think, we're trending in the right direction.
That's enough said.
That's
50
right.
wins next year, y'all. But
Yes.
no more Pistons ball. I hated every team because of this. Like, yeah, I have some love for the Warriors, of course, but in the Eastern Conference, everybody was a target, and now I guess I got neutralized. The powers getting neutralized. But yeah, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna put this up on SoundCloud or whatever, Spotify, all that, Apple. Um, yeah, make sure y'all like and subscribe, share it with your friends if y'all a b-ball head. Follow us at the names you see below for sure. I don't know if Pistons lead is showing down here, but do that. Follow the lead, but make sure y'all follow the the EMW underscore pod account. And yes, the lead account is the lead SM, all one word. Follow them. You see Khan's name, you see my name. Pistons this season. I'm sad, but I'm happy. I appreciate y'all for making me feel this way again. I haven't felt this emotional about this team in a long time, and yeah, that's it. We'll be back. We'll be back with something, whether it's WNBA, NBA,
We will.
probably Warriors next. But yeah, so y'all stay tuned in.
Take care.